My brothers and sisters in Christ, if you listen to me preach long enough, or if you come to me for confession and seek counsel, you'll hear me time and time again speak of the importance of cultivating a spirit of gratitude in the spiritual life. And today's readings, I think, point to this in an important way. In the continued story from the book of Exodus, we hear the aftermath of the crossing through the Red Sea. God has delivered his people in a jaw-dropping way, literally split the sea to let them pass through, and then use the sea to smash their enemies. A powerful sign, undeniable to anyone who could have witnessed it. And yet, immediately in the desert, just like they did before God split the sea for them, when they challenged Moses, well, you should have left us in slavery in Egypt, that would have been better than dying, we're afraid. And then God saves them in a dramatic way, and we're told that they fear the Lord because they acknowledge his power. And yet, a moment later, they're in the desert, and they're immediately questioning. Now they're hungry, and they question that, again, they would be better off in Egypt because now they're going to die of hunger. Already forgotten is the Lord's blessing for them, that he has provided for them, cared for them, protected them. And now they challenge that the Lord cannot feed them, which of course he does. We hear the origin in the reading of the manna from heaven. But there is an utter lack of gratitude and an utter lack of memory by the people of Israel. As I've heard Cardinal DiNardo many a time say, he uses this phrase, spiritual amnesia. And this isn't just true of the people of Israel collectively, but it is true of us. So often, we question, we look in our present situation, we don't see God's care for us, or we question whether he will deliver us from whatever present threat or anxiety is happening, and yet it's grounded in an amnesia of the ways in which God has so richly provided and cared for us in the past. All the times that we've prayed and he has answered. We're quick to challenge God for the times he doesn't answer our prayers the way we expect him to, and yet, for all the times that we drop to our knees and ask for deliverance from some evil, do we return in the same spirit of gratitude when he actually answers that prayer the way we do ask? Or do we just move on to the next thing, the challenge and the blessing both forgotten? This is the danger of spiritual amnesia. And in the gospel passage, we hear the parable of the sower, of the seed that is offered, but depending on the condition of the heart, depends on whether the seed takes fruit. My brothers and sisters, it is critical that we cultivate gratitude in our spiritual life. Gratitude, of course, to others, but most of all, gratitude to God. When we reflect constantly on the ways in which he blesses and cares us, and above all else, for the gifts of his great mercy and love that never cease, then this grounds us, gives us a context, a perspective through which we can view the rest of our lives, through which we can appreciate and overcome the pitfalls, the difficulties, and see all in the context of God's superabundance for us, that God in fact spares nothing for us and never ceases to care for us, through thick and thin. When we cultivate a spirit of gratitude, it is much easier to avoid many of the sins and pitfalls of life, whether they be anger, jealousy, envy, anxiety, fear, self-centeredness, so many things that can be undermined through a simple cultivation, the nurturing of gratitude in our life. May we reflect in our own lives on the places where God has blessed us, and may we commit ourselves to developing habits of reflection and gratitude. This is the way in which we can nurture the soil so that the seed planted may bear abundant fruit in us. Finally, keep all of this from Exodus, the manna from on high, even what we hear in the psalm today in mind, as this Sunday we begin our several-week discourse on the 6th chapter of John, the Bread of Life discourse, in which Jesus reveals to his people and to his apostles just how far God is willing to go to give us life. May God bless you.